Okay, welcome to the second section of 8.1. We're going to talk about how to use all three multiplication properties to simplify these expressions with exponents. So we're going to zoom in on example A first. One strategy that you can think about is working from the outside in. So I'm going to write that above here. Work from outside in. Here's what I mean by that. This 2 that we see as an exponent right here, we can start by sharing that with the big 2 on the inside and the x to the third. So I put a dot, or I highlighted that 2 on the next section over to the right. After that, we can drop down a level. 2 squared is 4. X to the third to the 6th power is x to the 6th. The last step is we can take the 6 and the 4, we can add the exponents of those x's and get x to the 10th power. So 4 times x to the 10th is your final answer. Let's look at example B. We want to start by taking this 4 that's on the outside of the parentheses, the exponent, and we can share it with the big 5 on the inside, and we can share it with x squared. So that's what I did first. Now we can actually simplify. 5 to the 4th power is 625. X squared to the 4th power is x to the 8th power. The last step, 5 times 625 is 3,125 times x to the 8th is our final answer. So we're working outside in. Example C. Here's a 2 as an exponent on the outside. Let's work on bringing that in, or distributing it almost with each of the other 2 terms. So that 2 will get shared with the negative 10 and with x to the 6th. If we actually calculate that, negative 10 squared is 100. X to the 6th squared is x to the 12th. The last step, we get x to the 14th. Because we do this 12 and the 2, we add them together. Example D. Here's a 2 on the outside, an exponent on the outside. We need to take care of that first. Kind of like order of operations when we take care of exponents at the beginning. It goes with the 2 and with, it goes with the negative 8, and we put it with m to the 4th. Notice I put those in parentheses. Negative 8 squared is 64. M to the 4th squared is m to the 8th. Last step, we take the 2 and the 3 from the m's and we add them together to get m to the 11th power. Example E. We have a 4 on the outside of our parentheses right here. Let's share it with the big 2 on the inside and with d to the 5th. Our result, 2 to the 4th power is 16. D to the 5th to the 4th is d to the 20th, because 5 times 4 is 20. Then this next step, all I actually did was I just rearranged 6 times 16 d squared times d to the 20th power. Then I went and did 6 times 16 and d squared times d to the 20th. So I rearranged, then I multiplied them together. If we add the exponents together of d squared and d to the 20th, we get a new exponent of 22. Okay, we have one more example to look at. Let's slide over to example F, and I will erase this screen, clean this up a little bit. Example F, let's look for that exponent that is on the outside, meaning this 2 right here. We can share that 2 with the negative 20, and we can share it with x cubed. When we do that, when we actually simplify that, negative 20 squared is 400, x to the third squared is x to the sixth. Then we multiply those terms together. What I did on this example is I showed you how to rearrange. So I grouped our coefficients and our variable terms. Now for the last step, I multiplied them together. 400 times negative 1 is negative 400. And x to the 6th times x to the 7th gives us this exponent of 13. So that concludes lesson 8.1 and using all properties at the same time. Thanks for listening.